Okay, so we can see here that I have my repo set up. I have my index.txt file. You can see my hidden.git folder there. If I come over here, I can do a git status. And I can see that I'm on branch main. My branch is up to date with origin main. There's nothing to commit. My working tree is clean. So we just have a basic website ready to be altered. Basic application, ready to go. Let's make some changes to it. Before we make the changes, we want to create this development branch. So the first thing we're going to do is let's run a git branch. Okay, so git branch with no options after it shows me my current branches. And right now we only have our main branch. To create a new branch, we do git branch and we give it a name. And we said we're going to call this branch dev. So I'm going to say git branch dev. And now I have a development branch. Let's look. And now you can see I have one called dev and I have one called main. Okay. But notice the green one, the one with the star beside it, that's the branch we're on. We're still on the main branch. So if I want to work in this development branch, how do I do that? Well, I check it out. So I do a git checkout and I say its name. So I'm going to check out the dev branch. Now if you look, it says we're on the dev branch. If I do a git branch, I can see we still have dev and main, but now it tells me that I'm on the dev branch. So I'm working on my dev branch now. Let's make some changes. Let's go over here and I'm going to do a new text document and let's just call it new feature. Call it new feature.txt. And Git ignores files that don't have anything in, so we need to put some content in here. This is my great new feature. I'm editing it. On the dev branch. And hit Control S to save it. So I have this new feature. I'm working on my dev branch. Let's do a git status. And it says I have new feature.txt here. So let's go ahead and add it and commit it. Git add dot git commit. Down here I called these C1, C2, C3. I'm actually going to give it a name. Let's do for our message. Let's say first edit is my message for my commit. And I can see that my files are committed. I'm on the dev branch. Now I want to show you what happens here. I have index, I have my new feature. My changes have been committed to this dev branch. I'm right here in my timeline. I've done one commit. Let's switch back to our main branch. And when I do this, I'm going to do a git checkout. I'm going to check out the main branch. But watch what happens to the files over here when I run it. Okay, I switch to the main branch. Here I am. And look over here. Index.txt is the only file I have because I haven't made any changes to this main branch. It still exists as it did before. All my changes were done on the dev branch. If I check out the dev branch again, git checkout dev. Here's my development branch, and you can see I have edits here. Let's do another edit. Let's go into the index.txt file. Here's an edit on the dev branch. So now I've changed my index.txt file. Here's another edit. So now I've changed both files. Did I save that? Yep. Let's go over here and add. Git commit. -m. We'll do second edit. Okay, so that's this edit we did right here. Let's check out our main branch again. Okay. You can see the one file disappeared. The index file doesn't have that fourth line in it. That one that I just added to it. The other file doesn't even exist because we're still on that main branch and nothing has changed on that main branch. We've only changed the dev branch. We did 2 commits now. So let's we'll check out the dev branch again. See, all our files came back over here. Remember, all these changes we're doing are being tracked in this .git folder, which is why we don't ever want to delete it or mess with it. Make one more change. Do another text file. And I'll call it new file 2. Some more edits. We'll save it. Okay. Over here on my dev branch, I'll do a git add. This is our regular workflow. Git add, git commit. And I'm just going to call this C3, which is actually what I was calling this is my diagram. So I'll just call it C3. And we're at this point right here where I said we were going to do 3 commits, and we've done 3 commits. We got a couple new files. We've edited some text. Let's go back to our main branch now. Check out main. We don't see those files. Okay. Do a git status. We're on branch main. Our branch is up to date. Nothing to commit. The working tree is clean because everything we've done so far happened on this other branch. So how do we now take all these changes and merge them back onto the main branch? And the answer to that is to do git merge, and then we have to tell it what we want to merge. So notice I'm back on my main branch. When I do a git merge, I'm asking it to merge in this case, my dev branch. So it's going to come over here and get the dev branch and merge it back into my main branch. So I'm on my main branch asking to merge in the dev branch. Okay, and it gives us some messages here. Updating. It's going to do something called a fast forward. And notice index, it shows we had a couple edits on there. We new feature.txt in this new file. It gives us some statistics about the changes that happened. 3 files changed, 7 insertions. That's what the pluses. That's what the pluses are for. And we created a couple new files. You can see that all of our changes now from our dev branch, we're on our main branch, but our changes from our dev branch came over. We can see our edits on that file. We can see the new feature file that I created. We can see this other new file 2 file that we created on our dev branch. Okay, so we create the branch. We do changes and we do commits. When we're ready, we switch back over to the main branch and merge the changes in. So that's a very simple workflow that works well for one person that's working on a repository. Okay. Eventually, we'll have multiple people working on the same repo, and things get a little bit more complicated, and we're going to talk about that in some of the upcoming videos. right now we're still working on our own mostly. So we don't have to worry about other people making edits the same time we do. And this can work just fine for a long while. So in the next video, I will do a demonstration of what happens when something changes on the main branch while we're working on the dev branch.